What's goody, what's goody, what's goody? It's your girl, S.E.T.ORACLE, the Universal Donor. And I would like to welcome you back to Stiletto Empress Tarot Oracle, acronym S.E.T. Welcome to the set. What's set? Full set, all 10 nails, son. Thank you so much for visiting. Thank you for your likes, shares, and subscribes. They are most definitely appreciated. Please tell a friend to tell a friend. That way we could all be friends around here, you feel? All right. Happy Memorial Day to everybody. The date is Monday, May 26, 2025. And I hope everybody is enjoying their Memorial Day weekend. And with that being said, let's get some alcohol from my hands because I wear makeup on my face. I touch my face a lot. I don't wear it on my cards. So, Most High, Father God, and ancestors, I ask that, well, before I do that, let's just make sure we understand this is a collective read. All signs are included. Take what resonates. Leave the rest. Don't chip, potato chip, because you already know you got that dip, okay? So, Father God, ancestors, Most High, I ask that you grant the collective the serenity to accept the things they cannot change, the courage to change the things that they can, and the wisdom to know the difference. All right, so here we go. We're going to go to the big picture deck. I'm not going to make this a long one. And we're going to see what's popping in these spiritual streets. What's popping in these streets? We got 2019. Stranger spoke on your name. And I can't be no Batman because I've been robbing. No, I can't be no Batman because I've been robbing. Okay, bet. So, what I'm getting is, during that time, somebody spoke on who you are. Maybe your career, i.e. profession, your creativity, your expansion, your self-expression, who you are as a person. And they tried to say that you are not who you are because you're a thief. Yeah. I tried to say you're a liar and you're a thief. They tried to sully your name. And these are people you don't even know. They didn't like the fact that you could possibly be a light worker and you had everything you needed to be able to move forward. And maybe there was an ending and you got a new beginning. So because of that, people started speaking on your name, trying to say that you're not who you are and you're a liar and a thief. Ooh, 2016. A lot of years coming out. 5th house. 3's company. So it definitely was a group of strangers that spoke on your name. And maybe in 2016, you started finding balance in your life again. You started, getting back to who you are, getting things back on track for yourself, with your creativity. I'm seeing a lot of creativity out here. I'm seeing a lot of creativity. I'm seeing a lot of work. I'm seeing a lot of balance. I'm seeing a lot of new beginnings. So pretty much because your house was in order and you were a creative individual, it seems like somebody was trying to sully your name and possibly take whatever you had created and steal it. They were trying to steal your essence, steal your life, steal your wisdom, intuition, your self-expression. Self-expression is out here, 2 times? New beginnings is out here twice. Creativity is out here twice. So yeah, 222. 246. Your work and your health. Yeah, your how disciplined you were, your natural habits. That's your sixth house. It's also you being able to move forward. People were speaking bad about you and trying to steal your forward movement. And it was a group. It was possibly a group that told strangers that you were not who you showed yourself to be, and you were possibly a thief. But it was almost like because you were happy and you just kept to yourself, you were stable, you were living in your truth, you weren't bothering anybody. And because you weren't bothering anybody and your life was going well and your creative juices were flowing and you were moving forward, this group of people that are obviously codependent, and you don't even know them like that, they started speaking on your name, saying you can't be who you are because you are something else. Karmic reader, they tried to say that you were a unbalanced person. They tried to say that you were codependent. They tried to say that you were dishonest and that you don't tell the truth and you're abusive. Like, wow, they really tried to put this on you, but that's who they are. What did I tell you? I said 9 times out of 10 this group is codependent. Confirmation. They're codependent, they're liars, they're abusive, and they are in places of power to where they could do this, and they don't even know you. You get what I'm saying? And they want to come off as, they want to come off as innocent. And they speculated in regards to who you were, how you got a new beginning, your relationships and your life purpose, because they can't be who you are because they're liars and cheaters and thieves. Tiger. Somebody could have been born in 1986, 98, 2010, 2022. Maybe something really kind of popped off with this group, maybe in 2022, to where they started telling strangers who you were to kind of try and get you in trouble. They not like us. Right. You're not like them. You were never like these people. You were never a karmic. And because you were balanced and in harmony and got a new beginning and you were walking in your life's purpose, they couldn't stand your creativity. They couldn't stand your self-expression. They couldn't stand your connections because you're not karmic like them. That's what the problem was. But they could never be like you because they're liars, cheaters, and thieves. But that's how they wanted people to see you. Rooster. Somebody could have been born in 69, 81, 93, 2005. Something could have happened in 2017. Once they started seeing that you were cool and in your own little vibe, from 2016, they started seeing that you were balanced and harmonized. They started working hard to sully your character, these karmic readers. And they were very confident that they could do this. So what they decided to do is try to get people into a tizzy about you, like making people see you negatively, making people have negative emotions about you, making people have, distasteful beliefs about you because you were not like them. You were not a karmic. And you weren't even in a high-ranking position. You were just being who you were because that's who you were. So they started going to work. Once they saw 2016, you were solid and you were in your life's purpose and you were trusting your intuition and you were paying attention to people that didn't need to be around you. 2017, they really started going in. And even though they did all of that, in 2019, you still ended up getting a new beginning. It's almost like every time they tried to mess something up for you, you got another chance. You came back because you stayed focused on your soul's purpose. You are a light worker. You are a living example. You never stopped finding balance. You were never not honest. You stood in who you are, self-expression. You stood in who you are. Detox. Removal of alcohol and drugs safely. Process, period of time, physical or medicinal. Removal from living organism. They needed to cut this out. In 2017, they wanted you to be in a They tried to make you look like you were an alcoholic or a drug addict in 2017 to sully your character. They were trying to end you, literally. They were trying to take you out of your life purpose, your soul purpose. And they worked hard at doing this. They were pretty confident that they could do this. And this group, they were loyal to each other. And they got other people involved because you're nothing like them. You're not a karmic. Spiritual court. That's why that ass is getting taxed. That's exactly why. Because you were not like them. They did all of this. They could never walk in your light because they know they're liars and thieves. This group who is codependent, and because you were not like them, they tried to cast judgment on you in the spirit realm. How dare you? Who are you? Things could have got really intense. Things could have got really, really intense. And they have been doing this since 2016. And they started working even harder at it in 2017 because you were not going down. So maybe in 2017, that's when they started trying to say that, oh, you're a karmic, you do drugs, you're an alcoholic, to really try and erase you, to get you taken out. Because they already wanted people to see you as a liar and a cheater and a thief because you got a new start. You got a new lease on life. Board of Education, Three's Company, Stranger Spoke on Your Name. They went to a group of higher ups and told them that you were a karmic, even though that's who they were. Possibly an uncle and aunt that know they couldn't be like you because they're thieves. And they were trying to sink you in 2017. They wanted people to see you in a negative light because of their beliefs. And they wanted you to be out of your purpose. They were really trying to end you. And they thought that they would be able to do it. But no, you were already in your purpose. Your fifth house was already intact. In 2016, you were good. You were balanced and you were in harmony. You were in your life purpose. You were manifesting what you needed. They decided to try and go forth with speculation. Possibly a Leo. Amos and Andy. Yeah. It could have been two men that linked up with somebody else to speak on your name. Or this group, this Three's Company, could have linked up with two men who are strangers to you to speak on your name because they're karmics. And they could have been higher ups, authority figures. Maybe a police officer and a lawyer, or a lawyer and a judge, or something like that. You feel me? Offspring. They can't be who you are. Offspring, childlike, innocence. They can't have their innocence because they're liars and thieves. And that's what made them do all of this. And they wanted to do something in regards to harming your offspring, because fifth house does say children. So they weren't only doing this to hurt you, take it as a resonate, they were also doing this to hurt your child. HIPAA. Health insurance, portability, accountability. I told you, detox. They were trying to make you look medically unstable. Criminal charges, imprisonment. They were trying to make you look like you were mentally unstable so that way you can be locked up. They wanted you to look like a drug addict and an alcoholic so that way you could be removed from life, removed from a normal life. They wanted you to have criminal charges. They wanted you imprisoned. And then they were going to try and sue you. They were going to try and sue you for something. Something possibly with a child. And they worked hard to do this. They worked very hard to do this. But here comes the boom, baby. The universe said, I don't think so. You got the game messed up. The universe said, I do not think so. These people are disgusting. But you know, it's always a group. It's always a group of filth, of slime, of grime, of scum bums. Let's get the details. Let's dig a little deeper into this. So what happened in 2019 as you were getting stable? Because you started finding your balance and harmony in 2016. And in 2019, you were like, it was almost like you were finally finding your footing, your grounding, you know? You were finally getting there. Not even getting there. You were ending something. Because pay attention to your relationships in 2016. You started seeing that a lot of people weren't for you. And by 2019, you were focused. You were getting a fresh start. You were stable. You were living in your truths. You were okay. You had all you needed to go forward. And somebody said, I don't want that. What happened in 2019? Corrupt heart. And came out in a reverse. Corrupt heart. Somebody was working against you with a corrupt heart. They hated who you were. They hated that you could live in your truth, and they can't, because they can't be no Batman because they've been robbing. Bunch of liars and thieves. Who are these strangers that spoke on your name? Negative energy folk. Low vibrational beings. Who is this person that's trying to pretend to be a hero but they're a thief? You got the juice. Somebody that was jealous of you. This group that was jealous of you because you're not like them. Because you got the juice. A karmic reader that was jealous of you because you're not like them. Karmic readers that spoke on you. What happened in 2016? A man that don't care for their kids can't be rich. Relationships. Pay attention to your relationships. So you could have been dealing with somebody that you could have possibly had a kid with, and they weren't taking care of their responsibilities. So you said, forget it. You went off to balance your life out. You went off to be by yourself and to start your beginning because you already knew what you had to do. But whoever this man was pretending to be something that he's not, because he's a liar and a thief, and you saw it. In 2016, you saw it. You saw that this man was not trying to take care of his children. He may have already had a child before you had a child with him. And then maybe he had another child after or something like that. I keep getting this man has several kids. And this man is never taking care of any of his kids. He's always been very selfish. He's always wanted to look like, I keep hearing, oh, you're such a great dad. Get the fuck out of here. No, they're not. You can't be anything great if you don't look after your offspring. And that card had came out earlier. So yeah. In 2016, you saw whoever this person was, take it as a resonance. You saw that they were not trying to be there for their kids. They were not trying to do what they were supposed to do. So you cut. You cut. And they had a problem with it. And what's the next card? Fifth house, children. They were not there for their children. Tell me more about this fifth house. Why so many? In the reverse, children. This person has more kids than you know about. And there's speculation about this. Fifth house, children, speculation. Why so many in reverse? This man has more children than you know about. More children than the people. More children than these people know about. This man is this karmic reader. And he got other people involved because he is not a good person. He's a liar and a thief and does not take care of his kids. And he has more children. More children that people don't know about. He's hiding a child. Or children. Who's this Three's Company? No joke. They thought it was funny. They thought all of this was funny. Whoever this group is, they thought all of this was funny because they're cold. They don't have a heart. They don't have a heart, but you do. You're not a corrupt individual. You have all you needed to go forward. You take action with love. You do not have a corrupt heart. And these people thought it was funny. It was funny to try and destroy you. Who's this karmic reader? Solar plexus. Energy, power, will, success. Somebody wanted your energy. They wanted your willpower. They wanted to be you. They could never be you. They could never be you. That's why in the background they got so many people involved on speaking on you. That's why. Because they could never be you. So many low level energy people. So many corrupt hearts and souls. That's why they did this. Because of who you are. Because you're not like them. They spoke on you because you're not like them. They spoke on you because of who you are. These low-level energy people. What happened in the year of the tiger? Love with roots, not chains. So somebody was trying to bind you to something. They were trying to bind you to be an alcoholic, a drug addict. That way they could have you locked up and have your, I keep seeing kids have your child or children taken from you. stop you from being able to live life. Live a healthy, balanced life with good relationships. Who's not like us? RICO. Yeah. Severe penalties, racketeering via enterprise, conspiracy, connecting unrelated crimes. Yeah, somebody tried to put something on your name. They tried to get you involved in this Three's Company bull. They wanted you involved in this because you don't move like them. They wanted you locked up. They thought it was funny. They wanted your kid taken because they can't be stand up like you because they're liars and thieves. They had people speaking on your name all because you're a good person. And they didn't want people to see that. But at the end of the day, it ain't gonna happen like that. Because why did you get so many people involved? You got so many people. It's almost like they got so many people involved to go after one person and their children. Not a group, but just one person and their children. Why so many? Why so many to speculate and come after this one person? Because they were happy and creative. It was somebody you were dealing with. It was a romantic attachment because you were out there doing what you had to do in your life purpose and you had healthy relationships. And they got all of these people involved. What's up with this rooster? What happened in the time of the rooster? Security and protection. You were protected. And they didn't like that. You were protected from this RICO. So 2016, they saw you getting yourself together and separating from negative energies and people. 2017, they saw you were protected and they wanted to try and stop that by getting you involved with whatever they had because they knew you were nothing like them. And 2019, you were stable and getting once again another fresh start because your heart is not cold. Your heart was not cold. They thought it was funny. But it ain't a joke no more. They're not laughing anymore. That's the truth. Once it was discovered how corrupt these people were, nothing was funny anymore. What's this detox? Mars retrograde. You were protected from this RICO during the Mars retrograde. Now, Mars retrograde is how we act, feel, and what drives us. Low energy, doesn't feel as excited, irritable, argumentative times, bring older issues to light. So, pretty much, whatever issues they may have had in the past, which seemed to be stupid, they were acting on that. They wanted to be irritating and argue with you. But you were protected from this. These people were impulsive. They did not think before they act. They were emotionally imbalanced and are unhealthy. This is what they were going through at that time, and they wanted to. You were protected from this. These people were on the alcohol and drugs and all of that. It wasn't you. It was them, and they were trying to implement you into whatever this is. Give me something for spiritual court. Traditional, principle, facts, genuine, original, accurate. Everything that came out, you were protected from. Because everybody knows, at least they know now, that you're authentic. You got the juice. It ain't funny no more. All of these low energy people that tried to chain you to something, it went right back to them. They wanted you in low energy. They wanted you dealing with alcohol and drug abuse and all of that and not wanting to live. They wanted you arrested and locked up for these things. They wanted to try and put cases on you. They wanted your energy, your willpower, and your success. And this is coming from a man that don't even take care of his kids. This person saw you in 2016 doing what you had to do for your fifth house and loving your child and sent a bunch of people after you. Why? Because they can't do what they need to do, because they can't be you. Because they can't be you. A man, and or a woman. But for some reason, I'm getting strong man. It could be a woman, but I'm getting strong man. This guy's a clown, bro. What's on the bottom? Team player in reverse. This person is not a team player. This person is not a team player. They want everything for themselves. They're selfish. They're arrogant, they're egotistical, they're naive, and they're very immature. Because why would you get all of these people involved? Because you don't know how to be an adult. This is going right back to my tarot reading with the immature emperor. It keeps coming out. It doesn't matter if it's tarot cards or handwritten cards. This energy keeps coming out. An immature man who is jealous of your maturity and able to move forward in life. So they try to hit you where it hurts. Your spirituality, your finances, and your family. Specifically, your children. And they tried to hide. There was so many people in the background helping them. All of these strangers that spoke on your name, all of these people, they were trying to hide how many people it was. But once again, a man that don't care for their kids can't be rich. So they were trying to hide the fact that they didn't. They were trying to hide the fact that they could not take care of their kids. So they had to make you look like a bad parent. But you were protected from it. Because all of that energy and aggression went back. Because you're the real deal. And now there's severe penalties for this. Joke's on your ass, you cold-hearted idiot.